Another Rough Rider. Now, I'm not one for cheap knives. I'm not. I usually like the more expensive stuff, but I do like traditional slip joints. You guys know this, so let's talk blades, everybody. That's what we're into today. I got for you guys Barlow knife. Not just any Barlow knife. No, there's something to this knife that actually brings me back. And now thinking about it, I think that I have handled something like this before in the past. And it kind of struck a good chord with me. So I had to share it with you guys. So this is the Ram's Horn Bow from Rough Rider. Unfortunately, the reason why my tone of voice is a little bit off is because I was a little disappointed in this one being sent to me, but because of the price that it was, I can understand why their quality assurance, I don't know if that's the right word, didn't really pay too much attention on how this left the factory. It was badly warped. So I had to do my best to try and fix it on my own, and I think I did a decent job. Not as perfect as I would like it to be, but it's better than the humongous warp that it had in the blade. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the box. Here it is, Rough Rider, Ram's Horn Bone. Okay, you got that right there. China. Not a lot of people like things out of China, so I can tell you right off the bat, I was really excited to get this. When I got it, I was a little bit bummed out with the quality that I ended up getting it at. But, you know, like I said, when it comes to cheap knives, I think when it leaves the factory, I'm pretty sure they can care 2 bits less on how it's going to look as long as the job's done, right? So here it is. Now, I was told that this is not real ram's horn. It's basically bone, and it is dyed and slightly carved in order for it to resemble actual ram's horn. Because if it was real ram's horn, it wouldn't be as cheap as it was. But that was what I was told, all right? I don't believe it is. I really don't know what it is. I want to say that it is real ram's horn because it feels and looks like it. Now, I'm not saying it's not real bone, but my buddy pointed out that the lines that you see in there are basically done by machine, so it's very prominent, and it even feels... But to me, it actually feels like real ram's horn, so I'm a little bit... I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I should believe him. He's been wrong in the past before with a lot of knife informations, which is why there's some videos that I have to update because I still get comments on, oh, you didn't get this right. It's this material, that material, if you're interested in, you know, blah, blah, blah. And I'm sitting there going, this is the information I got from somebody who knew a little bit more that I was learning from. And even this guy makes mistakes. So I make mistakes. We all make mistakes. And I need to redo some of my videos because of that. So I'm not going to go completely off of what he says on what he thinks that this is. It looks and feels to me like actual ram's horn, but I could be wrong. This could be bone that was created to be made to look like ram's horn. So just keep that in mind. And the price tag on this was relatively cheap. I think it was under, was it around 30 or under 40? I can't remember. It was relatively affordable. So you get that shield on there that has the RR for Rough Rider, and then you get the same little thing right here, but horseshoe kind of thing, RR, tested, sharp, all right? Now you can see the pins on this. Now when I got this, it was really badly, it's straight now, but when I got it, there was not like a huge gap, but there was a decent gap where you can see light coming through this area right here. About from here to here, there was a little bit of light coming through. And here's the blade. Now, when you see it, all right, you see how it's all lined up and centered? When you look at it, it was like warped. It was rubbing up against here on this side of the scale, and when you popped it open and you looked at it, it was really just, it looked like somebody bent it, like, or somebody sat on the blade, and it bent really bad. So it's actually relatively straight right now. And thanks to me and my very calm and cautious hands. It might be a little bit off center, but it's looking way better than it did when it got to me because this thing had a humongous warp. And I was pretty ticked off. But because it's 440 stainless steel, I knew that I could just take it to a vise and be excruciatingly careful. I had something in the middle of the vise and the blade, and I kind of sandwiched the blade inwards, and I just very, very carefully bent it to where I straightened out the blade, and it worked out. So I didn't snap it, I didn't break it, but I had to fix that gap. So I took it to the vise, and I just kind of very carefully pinched it shut. And then the pins obviously they're more protruding. They were polished into the blade, into the blade right here, so you couldn't see them, but now you can see them. That's not a huge deal. As long as the knife works and it looks better than it did before, I can care less if you can see the pins. So it works. It's fine. It's still pretty. I still very much like the look of this knife. It looks really good. It came out really well. I was a little bit offset when I got it, but I realized, this is a cheap knife, so I'm pretty sure they really didn't give a crap on how this looked. It's done. You put it together, throw it in the box. Who cares? No one's going to really, what are they going to do? I kind of had that feeling. Or maybe the previous owner to this, because I ended up purchasing this off eBay, was like, yeah, I sat on the knife. Yeah, let's get rid of it. And they can worry about fixing it them damn selves. But on the blade, here it is. It says Ram's Horn Bone. And then right here, you got the RR for Rough Rider. And underneath it, I'm pretty sure it says the actual names. I'm going to have to look. Yeah, Rough Rider. And then right here, has China. Right there, it has the 440 razor sharp steel. It's really decent. I really do like it. It's very well, decent now. When I got it, it was a little bit bunk, but sometimes you got to take the bad with the good, right? What's really cool, like I said, it has a half stop. I like because some Barlow knives don't have a half stop. But this one has a half stop. So, neat. I really like that. Love the half stop. It's really cool. I like that, reassurance of having just a little bit extra safety on my knife. I did, try to test it out to make sure there's no blade play, because when I did get it, it did have a decent amount of blade play, so I fixed that at the cost of the pins kind of protruding ever so slightly. But it works very well now, so I don't have to worry about it. Is this a back pocket knife? I'll let you guys decide. I mean, if you guys have one of these in your collection, let me know in the comments down below whether or not you've experienced any poor quality control. That's the word, quality control. If you guys have experienced any quality control issues from Rough Rider, let me know. Because this was the first one that I saw that I was like, oh, I don't like that. I was thinking about sending it back, but then I was like, I think this is something I can actually fix on my own, and I don't have to worry about paying for all that extra crap if I don't need to, It's still a great knife, even if it's just for collecting, or if you're, occasional gentleman's knife that you can throw in your back pocket to carry when you feel. I mean, this is still neat. It really is. I don't care much for the box. I think it's just very plain Jane. There's really, there's no magnetic closure. It's just your typical cardboard. It's not that great. I mean, you got a picture of a ram. This is not something that I'd be so going too crazy for, especially with the with the quality of how it got to me. That's just garbage. I mean, if it were me trying to decide whether or not this is a high quality knife. Now, if I paid over $50 for this knife, then yeah, I'd probably be a little upset. I'd be like, why the hell did you send me this piece of garbage? But at the same time, with how much this knife actually was, it was respectably reasonable that, it's a cheap knife. And if it can be fixed, you can fix it again. And if you break it, you could just get another one because it doesn't break the bank if you really, really want that one that bad. But it kind of paints a new picture to me about how the company is being seen through their workers now. That's if it came like that, or if the seller themselves, because like I said, I haven't really had too much good luck through buying things on eBay, which is one of the reasons why I kind of stray away from it as much as I can, unless I'm actually trying to get something that's so rare that I can't go anywhere else but eBay. Then and only then would I actually have to tolerate it. But you know what? I mean, you get what you pay for, right? And it doesn't matter what price tag it is. If it's good quality, it's good quality. If it's not so good quality, well, you'll know by the price and just kind of, shut up. Just deal with it. You purchased it, right? So it's going to be your issue. If you really want to send it back, send it back. But it's only a few bucks, and to me, that's, it's not a huge deal, especially when I'm used to spending a few $100s on bigger, better, prettier knives. So getting back to the cheaper knives, it's just, I don't know. Like I said, I was going to buy a version of this through like a case knife that I was going to get on eBay, a Barlow case knife, and that thing was kind of stupid expensive. So this being a fraction of the price and still looking pretty, I really do appreciate it being what it is, and it doesn't look bad at all. It looks really good right now, other than, what I've been doing touching this stuff. So it's got a really big handle. Obviously, I would love this more if it had a back lock, but most Barlow knives don't. It's still really nice, though. So, what's that? It kind of protrudes a little bit. Yeah, whatever. It still works. Doesn't change the functionality of the knife. So I'm going to get into the scope. Get into the specs of this knife for you guys, so you guys have a good idea. You're looking at 3.98 ounces, so yeah, about 4 ounces in your paquito if if that kind of bothers you. But it shouldn't, because 5 ounces is kind of my sweet point anyway, so it's not going to be that big of an issue. At least not to me anyway. All right, so this is the Big Daddy, what is this called? The Big Daddy Barlow Ram's Horn, I think it was listed. Don't quote me on it. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. So you're looking at overall 9 inches. So this is a big boy knife with an overall 4-inch blade with a cutting edge of 3 3/4, roughly. Yeah, 3 3/4 cutting edge. So you got 4 inches of reach on this bad boy. Ooh, I hit the tripods. I'm sorry. So this is a big knife. I actually prefer, if it's a big knife, a big slip joint like this, or traditional opening knife that doesn't have a thumb stud, to at least have a back lock. But, for the collection, this is acceptable. This is really nice. It's neat. It's cool. It's really classy. I really do like it. It's a bit of a thin blade, so I'm going to, bust out the calipers right now so you guys have a good idea. Okay? So the handle, it's pretty neutral all the way across. You're looking at 9.8. And the blade, you are looking at a 1.9, and it's not fully hollow ground, so yeah. Or maybe it is full hollow ground, but still, it's relatively thin, so that's probably one of the reasons why it was so easy to fix. And maybe one of the reasons why it was so easy to bend when it just sat in the box. I don't know. So, China, they make some good stuff. They always do. Not a lot of people, it puts a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths. They're like, oh, a traditional slip joint from China, that's going to be garbage. Yes and no. I don't really want to call it that. They still make some decent stuff out there. And we still get a lot of stuff from there that's, it works, and it works good. So, but if you pay that price for the, traditional stuff, then getting it out of America, our homeland, it's going to be a little bit taxy. It's going to have a bigger price tag, because anything made in America is going to be high quality stuff. Cheaper materials, obviously, sometimes it could be the same materials, but either way, this is pretty decent now. Like I said, I'm a little bit disappointed in how I received it, so keeping that in mind kind of makes me a little bit more hesitant to buy more of these. Because, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I just had that little bad luck and I ended up getting the one that, they just didn't really care about. Or maybe the guy was falling asleep on the conveyor belt. Maybe he got crunk the night previous and he got to work and he's like, I gotta do this again. Okay, yeah, that's fine. I didn't even look at him. I'm just throwing him in the box. I don't know. I'm just painting out a picture of what I thought or could be what actually happened, but I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt. I was able to make it work and it looks okay to me. So just keep that in mind. So go ahead and slash that like button, stab that subscribe, slice that bell icon so you guys are notified anytime I post new stuff. Any of these craziest of times, please, everybody. Stay calm. Collect them knives on. In these craziest of times, everybody, please be calm. Be calm. Because this video, man, I was so upset when this knife came to me the way that it did. I was not calm, man. I almost broke. I was like, damn. I was like, wait a minute. No, this knife isn't that much. So be kind, be safe, carry responsibly, and I'll see you all awesome people in the next video.